Expose Evil here. Like, share, subscribe. Today we're going to talk about satanic ritual abuse. And we're going to hear a little bit of this woman's testimony about being born into a family that practices Satanism and how she was satanically abused.
My next guest was used also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. She says her family has been involved in rituals for generations. She is currently in extensive therapy, suffers from multiple personality disorder, meaning she's blocked out many of the terrifying and painful memories of her childhood. Meet Rachel, who is also in disguise to protect her identity.
In disguise.
Generations of ritualistic abuse?
Yes, my family has an extensive family tree, and they keep track of who's been involved and who hasn't been involved. And it's gone back to like 1700.
Socrates or Socrates, in the history of the church and 7 books by Socrates, chapter 16, the Jews commit another outrage upon the Christians. They talk about another Jewish ritual murder of a Christian boy. Okay? And this goes back to the year 915. The year 915. Way back before the 1700s.
So you were...
Right, I was born into a family that believes in this.
And does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl.
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family.
Really? And so who knows about it? Lots of people now.
I talked to a police detective in the Chicago area, and several of my friends know, and I've spoken publicly before.
And so when you were brought up in this kind of evilness, did you just think it was normal?
I've blocked out a lot of the memories I had because of my multiple personality disorder. But yes, I mean, it's like if you grow up with something, you think it's...
If you don't know, multiple personality disorder is linked to MK Ultra mind control. They use mind control on their victims, and they use satanic ritual abuse to get them the way they want to get them. Because let me just read this here on Google, what it says. It says, Project MK Ultra, also called the CIA Mind Control Program, is the code name given to a program of experiments on human subjects that were designed and undertaken by the United States Central Intelligence Agency, and which were at times illegal. It was illegal at all times, okay? Now what they do is they abuse their victims to a point where their mind basically breaks and creates alter egos or multiple personalities. In my opinion, it's demonic possession. And that's the reason for breaking the mind, maybe to make it easier for a demon to possess that person. And it's also said that they can mold the person's new personality to anything they would like it to be. If you want to learn a little bit about that, you can watch the movie Manchurian Candidate, which throws us in your face, shows you the mind control. Oh, and one more thing, MK Ultra mind control comes from the Book of the Dead. This is where it comes from, how to control people. Now, if you know anything about my other video about the Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism and Santeria and all these other religions that use the Kabbalah is nothing more than Thoth's Tree of Life. If you look up Thoth, he is credited for writing most of the spells in the Book of the Dead. Let's continue to our video.
Something, you think it's normal. I always thought.
So what kinds of things? You don't have to give us the gory details, but what kinds of things went on in the family?
Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to, you know,
Babies.
there were people who bred babies in their family. No one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not, or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back. The other thing I want to point out, not all.
This is WashingtonPost.com, and officials describe cult rituals in child abuse case. Now I want to skip to this part where it says authorities investigating the alleged abuse of 6 children found with 2 men in Tallahassee, Florida. Park discovered materials yesterday in Washington area that they say point to a 1960s style commune called the Finders, described in a court document as a cult that allegedly conducted brainwashing and used children in the rituals. Now the Finders was another CIA program, but they're not going to admit that one, that they would go and steal these children. If you can find a documentary on it. It's called The Finders. CIA The Finders, or CIA program The Finders. Look that up. It's about stealing kids, okay?
And then come back. The other thing I want to point out, not all Jewish people sacrifice babies. I mean, no, it's not a very
we kind of know that.
I just want to point that out.
This is the first time I heard of any Jewish people sacrificing babies. But anyway, so you witnessed the sacrifice.
Right. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Uh-huh. Power. And so, were you ever used? Were you ever used yourself?
I was molested. I was raped several times.
And what's your mother doing
She's
in all of this? What's her role in all of this?
I'm not exactly what her role is. I haven't, recovered all of my memories, but her family was extremely involved. She brought me to it. Both of my parents brought me to it.
And where is she now?
She's lives in the Chicago metropolitan area. She's on the Human Relations Commission of the town that she lives in, and she's an upstanding citizen.
No. Raised with a sense of right and wrong, Rachel?
Yes. I mean, it's like I had both. I mean, to the outside world, everything we did was proper and right, and then there were the nights that things changed, that things just got turned around. What was wrong was right, and what was right was wrong. It's what helped to create somebody to develop MPD.
Multiple personalities.
Right.
Now, in your family, did you all call it worshiping the devil?
No,
Rachel,
I don't know.
It was just evil, these things you did.
Right. Well, I said it was evil, and they said it was good. There's a book that I had just come across called Lilith's Cave, which is a book of Jewish mysticism and supernatural, and there's a lot in that book that relates to what I, endured when I was a child.
Now, there's a book written in the 1500s by Dr. Martin Luther, the great reformer that made Christianity what it is today. It's called On the Jews and Their Lies. Of course, they say it's an anti-Semitic treatise from 1543. Now let's let the cat out of the bag. This man did not make up anything, Martin Luther. He read Hebrew, he read the Talmud, and he was exposed, and everything was exposed to him by 3 different rabbis who lived and were born into this Jewish mysticism. And these people expose it, and these are his sources. So don't say Martin Luther is making things up and doesn't know what's written in Talmud, okay? Now let me show you these 3 sources. One of them is this man, Johannes Pfefferkorn, if that is correct. Look, he actively preached against the Jews and attempted to destroy the copies of the Talmud, engaged in a long-running pamphleteering battle with Johann Richland, which was probably trying to, deflect what he was talking about. Now, they tried to destroy the Talmud, but this Talmud was given orally. It really wasn't a book. This was taught orally. Remember, it's two Talmuds, the Babylonian and then the regular one, which I don't see any difference between any of them. But here goes another source. Anton Margarita. See? He was a rabbi and Jewish and turned into Jewish Hebraist and convert to Christianity. Sorry, a Jewish Hebraist? I don't know, and I really don't care. But he converted to Christianity too, and he has works against his own people, and he exposed them. And this is what Martin Luther read. And Paul of Burgos, a Spanish Jew. Alright? He also has a lot of works against the Jews, exposing them, exposing the Jewish mysticism, the child sacrificing. They expose all of this. Look it up, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment if any questions. Tell me anything you feel like I should have added on.